Alright guys, so welcome back to another Patreon request, and this one comes from Christopher Rosa, who asked me to do a very interesting story, not focused on Mr. Freeze, but more of Nora Freeze. So yes, so this is gonna be an interesting story. And as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, and you guys can start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But other than that, let's get started with this video. So this story basically is like Christopher Rosa, after reading One Bad Day, the Mr. Freeze One Bad Day issue, Rosa basically asked me to do, hey, can you do because they were really mean-spirited about the whole relationship between Nora and Victor. Can you kind of retcon that? And I was like, you know what? That's fair. I can retcon the shit out of that. So here we are. Here I am retconning the shit out of this story. So let's get started. So this story basically takes place in Nora's head. Nora has basically been in hibernation for so long that her mind is now traveling out of her body. She's been trapped in the dream state for so long that it's basically been she's now living in kind of a dream state for so long that she's now kind of wandering a dream realm. And during that, she enters Victor's dreams because, in her mind, she's like, if I can't be with Victor physically, at least I can go into his head and give him the dreams, at least let him dream of me. If we can be together in our dreams. However, during one such visit, she sees that Victor has all these horrible memories of their relationship, of being possessive and stuff like that. And she's like, that's not how it went. That's not how it was between us. Victor and I were never like that. Why is he doing this? And as she's doing that, she leaves Victor's head. She's like, I don't know where to go. This is disturbing. And what happens is that she stumbles upon she also finds that she's not alone in this dream world. She finds out that Dr. Fate is here. So Dr. Fate is even like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Nora Freeze. And he's like, Nora Freeze? You are dead. Batman has told me about you, and more importantly, he's told me about your husband. So I don't know why you're here in the dream world. Is it? And he does make that he does surmise that maybe it is maybe you've just been dreaming long enough that it's now starting to be in your head. Maybe your soul is now leaving into the mindscape. Maybe that's what's finally happening here, is that your body is leaving the physical plane. Maybe that's what's going on here. And as she's talking to Fate, she's like, I just left my husband's mind, and something seems very wrong with him. He's he's seeing all these. I'm seeing all these horrible thoughts from him, seeing him being overtly possessive with me when we were dying, and I'm like, and she's like, that's not how it went down. I saw one moment where he shoooed away our friends as I was dying before he put me under ice. And she goes, yeah, that's not how it went down. It was, it was when he said leave us alone. It was more it wasn't out of volition. It was more out of grief. He thought that me seeing my friends would upset me. That's why he sent them away. It was something malicious. So why would he be thinking it that way? And Dr. Fate is basically well, this is a little out of my pay grade. Maybe it's something a little more malicious. Maybe something like that. So in any case, this is not your business. You need to go back to your body. And Nora is like, no, you're a doctor, right? Come help. And Fate is like, I'm not that doctor. I'm not that kind of doctor. So, but eventually Nora does ask Dr. Fate to be like, hey, please help. And Dr. Fate is like, I'll see what I can do. Fucking fine. So Fate and Nora go back to Victor's mind, and basically what they find is that Victor's mind has more or less been damaged. Like, it's slowly been corroded by the effects of the accident left him in the ice suit. Like, essentially what's going on is that Victor's body has, like, his mental state has been corroding because of the accident, and it's like affecting how he remembers things. It's kind of giving him like a version of dementia in a way. Like, it's giving him like a kind of dementia that is really like fucking with his mind on a very high level, and it's starting to really like affect how he remembers things, and that's affecting his personality, making him more possessive, more aggressive, and things like that. And she's like, that's like, what, like, this isn't right. And he's like, yeah. And Fate also said, like, Fate's like, yeah, I told you, this is like, you can't help him. Like, if it was something like magical or like a demonic, I could have been like, snap my fingers and like fix the shit. But this is like his own this is his own war. Like, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you or I can do for him. And Nora's like, the hell I can't. There has to be a way to like fix his memory, like fix his mind in some capacity. And again, Dr. Fate is like, all right, maybe there is a way. Like, maybe there is like a possible way we can undo the damage that the chemicals have done to him. And that's more of you going into his memories and repairing them. It's kind of like that episode of, if you're guessing, yes, I did take a little bit of inspiration from that episode of Owl House where Amity and Luz go into Willow's mind to fix her memories. So that's what's going on here, is that Dr. Fate and Nora go into Victor's memories and like repair and like correct all the damage that was done to Victor due to the chemical accident. So Nora has to put herself in those places and like talk to Victor. Like, she has to like talk to Victor and remind him that he's still a good man under there. Like, she has to like go into his mind and remind him, no, Victor, like, and this is a lot of like correction of One Bad Day. Not to say that One Bad Day was a bad comic. It was a very enjoyable one, but I will say it does kind of do some character assassination on Victor to an extent. So this is more of righting that ship in a way, because there's one like talking about the scene where Nora comes home after spending a night out with friends, and Nora is like, no, that's not how it went, Victor. You came with us. You're like, Victor, you have to remember that you can't, like, don't you remember you came with us that night? We spent a lovely night out at dinner and a show. And he's like, oh, that's right. I've been so busy, honey, that I'm just forgetting things. And she's like, that's why we went out, because you were so busy. Remember? You were working yourself to death, and I put my foot down and took us out and we went out for the night, and you loved it. And he's like, oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nora. And then there's another scene of like another moment where like Victor's like trying to shoo away her friends as she's dying, and she's like, Victor, you didn't do this. You let them in. You relented. I didn't say anything. You relented by yourself and let my friends see me. You were trying to protect me because you thought, you didn't do it out of malice. You did it because you were afraid that you didn't think that it would upset me to see my friends, to have my friends see me like this. That's what you were more upset that you thought I'd just be downtrodden of having my friends see me like this, when in reality you wanted me to have some life in me. So you let them come in. You relented by yourself and let me come in, and let them come in. So as Nora and Fate are like fixing his mind, they're like going through all the moments of between her and Victor, like Victor meeting Nora for the first time. And it wasn't like some kind of weird, obsessive kind of thing, like how Scott Snyder put it. It was like, no, that's not how this went. It was more like he was some dumb little guy who ran into me, and it was like a beautiful moment between us. Like it was more of a lark that I took my date on him because I thought he was such a mess of a human being. I thought it'd be fun, and then I ended up falling in love with it, and then we ended up falling in love. So by the end of it, like after repairing all the damage that the chemicals have done to Victor's mind, they leave, and Dr. Fate is like, I can't bring you out of that thing or it'll kill you. I deal in the world of magic, not science. So I'm gonna put you back in your body, but I do think you did a good thing. So Dr. Fate does help guide her back to her mind, and by that point Victor's woken up and he's like, he sees Nora and he's like, thank you, Nora. So there you go. That's the story. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. And once again, I'd like to thank Christopher Rosa for their continued patronage and this Patreon request. And like I said, if you would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.